What's up, everybody? Jenna Anderson here, reporting live from San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm joined with the cast of the upcoming Interview with the Vampire series. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
So just to start off, what is it like being here at Comic-Con and getting to celebrate the show? I know like there's a poster for you guys like on the side of a building and stuff. What is that experience like?
Pretty overwhelming.
It's a lot.
It's my first Comic-Con, so I've never been here before, so it's like, yeah, overwhelming.
I mean, the elevators, there's in
Yeah.
the Hard Rock Hotel, there are posters of us in the elevator.
You can get into a coffin with us
Yeah.
at the hotel.
My son's a comic book artist. He goes to the Harry Bogosian, and he goes to these all the time. But I never knew what they were. I like, where are you going? What is it? And now I know the level of lunacy that you're in the midst of. Fandom. Amazing.
Well, so kind of going off of that, obviously we're at Comic-Con. It's like a mecca of comics and collecting and anything. Do you guys collect anything? Is there anything you're going to kind of be on the floor looking for? I know you were eyeing the Jurassic Park figure before we got started here.
Yeah, no, I collect figures, and but I really like kind of like off figures. So like when I go on holiday, and I love those ones that are like, it's Superman, but he's like skinned as Spider-Man. And then it's like Spider Super Spandex Super Guy Man. Like I collect them.
And what was the one you bought
comics as
yesterday?
well.
You bought a really good one yesterday.
I did. I got a Saitama Funko Pop, and I've got some Scott C Greatest Showdowns.
Yeah, that's the greatest showdowns ever.
I got a Nedry one. And I also got the Spinal Tap one with the little. I'm gonna stop. I took Sam and Eric. This is my third Comic Con. And I took Sam and Eric onto the floor, and I think they were like, "Oh, we thought."
We thought you were a normal person.
I loved it. I just can't believe some of the artwork.
I'm not.
It's amazing.
Well, so going to Interview with the Vampire, obviously this franchise and Anne Rice's work is so iconic in its own right. Were any of you familiar with the book or with the movie like before signing on, and did that add any sort of pressure if you were familiar?
Yeah, I mean, super familiar. Huge fan of the books. Huge fan. When I read that it was going to be made into a TV show, I just was really hopeful that I had the opportunity to audition for it. So yeah, huge amounts of pressure, because you feel that pressure to make sure that you live up to the character and the world that you love so much. I mean, I know there's a huge amount of pressure because they're so loved, these books and this world that she created, but also the pressure that you put on yourself to live up to that as well is full on. But what an extraordinary opportunity and gift and privilege to be able to be a part of it. So yeah.
That's amazing. For Eric, how does your approach to Daniel kind of differ from some of the other roles that you've played?
Oh, big time, because Daniel is a lot like me. I mean, he's at a point in his life where he's older and seasoned, and he's had this tremendous heyday decades before, and now this is his chance to go and grab the ring one more time, which is the way I feel about this show. I mean, this is my last chance at immortality. Hit show. To play a character so close to me is really the hardest. Is so hard for me. But it's a great character. He has a lot of complexity, and I get to play with these awesome actors. Particularly looking into this guy's eyes a lot, and they're mesmerizing.
Well, so for Jacob, obviously you're best known for playing Grey Worm. Did you find any sort of similarities between that performance and how you've approached your role on the show?
I think they're very different characters, but I think that there's kind of like an enduring trauma to both of those characters that kind of it's like but I think that they have very different contexts. And I think that Louis' traumas and the things that consume him are very human things, and they're things that he can't let go of. Whereas I think Grey Worm was always kind of like trying to sort of better himself. I think Louis is very stuck in the past.
Gotcha. And for Bailey, Claudia is obviously such a complex character. What did you find to be the most surprising part of essentially playing an adult in the situation that she is in?
I would say it was how, like you said, she's extremely complex, but that makes it fun. Like, I wanted the challenge. I wanted to be able to play around with the many, many emotions that she feels. Because she's stuck in this 14-year-old body, her brain never develops. So she's consistently going off feeling, and she feels things so deeply. So to be able to read the incredible script and dive into all the situations that she has to deal with was really fun.
That's awesome. And for Sam, Lestat is obviously such a beloved character. I know there's like so much of a fandom around just him. Did you feel kind of any extra pressure? And how would you say
That's
that?
the pressure.
Yeah.
So much pressure.
How would you say that your portrayal, in particular, like differs from the movie version? Because I know that's kind of a lot of people's touchstone for the character.
And I love the film. I love Tom Cruise's performance in that movie too. So definitely. But what we get to do is when Anne wrote the second book, she sort of broke the character open a little bit, and you understand him a little bit more. It brings in more backstory, and so that's what we've done. We've actually brought. This is the second interview that they have, in order for Louis to sort of have a bit more of a new, for a number of reasons, but also in order for Louis to have a more nuanced version of Lestat. So I get to bring in all of these fantastic elements that she sort of talks about in the books that you don't get to really see in the movie because it was only 2 hours, and also because it was more based on that original book, and we're sort of looking at the whole universe. So it's super exciting.
And so, what was it like getting fitted for fangs? Because I heard that was a whole experience in and of itself.
You have to have a digital scan of the inside of your mouth, which is weird and fun. And then I was in Australia at the time in a lockdown, and so they were sending me these fangs in the post, and like every week I'd get this new little box with this different type of style of fang that I would try on, take photographs of, and send
we
back.
text each other photos?
Yeah, we were texting each other.
Interactions.
Show me yours.
I'll show you yours. Might be mine if you show me.
And my first ones were very different to where we ended up. So I've got at home. I have this beautiful procession of different types of fangs.
And we also have different sizes that we wear throughout the show.
Yeah.
That's so fascinating. And then people involved with AMC have kind of said that they hope that this kicks off a franchise of like all of Anne Rice's work kind of tied together. Would you guys be like excited if it got to that point? And like, what works of hers would you want to cross over with? Or can you not say?
Yeah. There's so much we can say.
I think it's probably a question for AMC, but I think if that happened, we would be very excited.
I've already texted Rolin on numerous occasions and been like, I just want to be in a room with Gabrielle and Marius. I just want to sit with them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to me. Be sure to watch the Interview with the Vampire when it arrives on AMC later this fall, and keep an eye on comicbook.com for all your San Diego Comic-Con news.